Hi guys, I want to welcome you to this brand new series called You Did Not Know This. We at TalentSprint want to encourage and reach out to all those who are struggling and finding it difficult when it comes to being quick to calculate or not able to follow context or even understand the question because of new and unfamiliar words. And for those of you who think that your brain does not have the capacity to retain a whole lot of information, I'm talking about general awareness. We want to help you. So in this series, we will be covering general awareness, vocabulary, and speed maths, and share with you tips and some smart methods that you can use to practice to help you retain information so that you can recollect it and apply it later when you need it the most, which is in the exams, right? So yesterday we started the series. If you were here yesterday with us, we started off with general awareness, right? And today we're going to take a look at vocabulary. Now the best way to learn vocabulary is through context. And images are an excellent way to retain meaning. So before we get started, right, I want to quickly go ahead and tell you that by the end of this session, you would have completed definitely 3 things. 1, expanded your vocabulary. 2, know how to get rid of your fear of new and unfamiliar words. And 3, learn to associate images to new and unfamiliar words to help you retain meaning. Okay, so let's quickly look at who's here with us. So, hi Sid, hi Jeevan, Diksha, Sridhar, Reshiv, Leela, good morning, Shamir, Prashant, Devendra, Gaikwad, Jayant, Reshiv, Subendu, Shamir again. Okay, I'm repeating names now. So I want to welcome each and every one of you who've taken the time to be here with us this morning. I'm excited. So let's get started. Moving on, how many of you watched the opening one-day international cricket match between Australia and India day before yesterday on Sunday? Yeah, I mean, I know we had a bad start and a lot of my friends even stopped watching, pretty disappointing to begin with. But then our heroes, Hardik Pandya and Dhoni, saved the day and India beat Australia by 26 runs, right? So today's session, the context is taken from the Times of India on an article covering that very match. Okay, so without wasting any further time, let's dive in and take a look at the first 2 words. I know a lot of you are joining in. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. So Bhavik says, I watched the match. Yeah, a lot of you watched the match. Yes, great match, right? Yeah, so we're going to look at context from that match, of course, from the Times of India, this article. So let me quickly share the PPT and we'll get started. All right, so let's read the sentence before us, okay? It says, Hardik Pandya's all-round flamboyance, complemented by Mahendra Singh Dhoni's customary calm, enabled India to record a comfortable 26-run win over Australia in the rain-curtailed opening one-day international of the 5-match series here on Sunday. Right? So the words that are highlighted, if you notice, is flamboyance and customary. Now, let me tell you few steps that you need to follow, right? If you have come across a new and unfamiliar word in a context, the first step that you can follow is to look at the meaning that the context is giving you. When I say context meaning, whether it's giving you a positive or a negative meaning. So can quickly somebody tell me, Prashant already says flamboyance means confident, but we're going to look at context and then figure out, right? Sid says to attract. So a lot of you are giving me the meanings, but I want you to tell me this entire context, is it giving me a positive or a negative meaning? Is it giving a positive or a negative meaning? I'll give you about a couple of seconds. Answer that for me. It's giving us a positive meaning, right? How do I know that? Look at all the positive words. Complemented, enabled India, a comfortable win, right? So all of this is giving us a positive meaning. And if you look at flamboyance and customary, the two words, these two words are used to describe, yes, thank you, Sid. These two words are used to describe Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Hardik, right? So we know that it has to be positive. That's the first one. Step 2 is figure out, if these are what word class. Not really something that you want to pay attention, but it's good to know, right? So I know that these are descriptive words describing Dhoni and Hardik, right? Descriptive words. So I know these are adjectives. Just a knowledge on, okay, this word class is adjective. I know that. Now, look at the scenes there for Hardik, right? Look at the expressions in the images. He's super animated. He's super energetic. I mean, nobody can miss him, right? Take a look at this. I mean, look at him posing. It's almost like he is putting up a show for us. Just look at that image, he's like, I don't know how many feet he's off the ground there, right? So if you look at all this, yeah, thank you, Prashant. Flamboyance is a noun, but customary, again, is a adjective describing calm. All-round flamboyance, there is a noun, absolutely. So descriptive words, which is customary, and all-round flamboyance is definitely a noun, but still it's describing Hardik. Right? Now, I want you to take a minute and think of one person. You saw Hardik, right? All animated, he's excited, he's putting up a show for us. It's all about glitz. When you do stuff like that, the paparazzi is going to go wild. When I say paparazzi, I'm talking about press, right? So they're going to go wild clicking away. Think of one Bollywood star who comes to your mind when you think of all glamour and glitz and, check me out, I'll do whatever I want, this is who I am. Who can you think of when it comes to Bollywood? I mean, I could think of just this one person. Let me show you who I thought of. Govinda. That's the person I thought of. Look at that sentence, example sentence for you with the same word. The flamboyant actor loves to wear shimmering suits while performing. In this context, flamboyant is an adjective describing Govinda, the actor, right? So now let's go back and figure out, okay, Sid's favorite is Salman Khan, okay. So if you SRK, Papu says SRK is my favorite, Ranveer Singh, but I'm talking about flamboyant here. Flamboyant here, a lot of you gave me a lot of meanings, right? You said confident, someone else said something, but flamboyance actually means someone who is putting up a show for us, right? There's a lot of, somebody said show off. I would take that. Glitz, grandiose, right? Each of you are giving me who your favorite actors are, but we're not talking about, most actors are, yes, they tend to show off, but we're talking about, all out there, doing something crazy. Showy, yeah, vibrant, eye-catching, yes. Sid, I'll give that to you. So we're talking about show, we're talking about style. Govinda has his own style, personality, right? Brightly colored and noticeable, yes, Mayank, that is correct. So now we can just go ahead and say flamboyance means that. Let's move on to the next one. Customary calm. Mahendra Singh Dhoni's customary calm. So flamboyance, those of you who came and said energetic and confident and all that, they're not accurate descriptions. The accurate descriptions would be who Satish put up, stylish, and some other person said show off, and then something to do with glitz and grandiose, right? That would be the perfect description of flamboyance. Flamboyance. Customary. What do you think about customary? Okay, I want you to picture Dhoni now, okay? Let's move on to Dhoni. Let's check out Dhoni. Look at all these pictures of Dhoni. Don't worry, Sobhan, we just got started. What do you think of Dhoni here? So Prashant is saying traditional, okay. But in the context, Prashant, I want you to look at the context. It says, complemented by Mahendra Singh Dhoni's customary calm. Here, do you think the word traditional would be absolutely right? Yeah, so Shrishti, out of those words, which one would fit here? You guys are giving me all the meanings of customary, but I want the specific meaning right here, right now. Customary means what? Customary calm. Describing Dhoni. Satish and Srishti, tell me what's the right word from the options that you've given. Yes, exactly, Siddhartha. So, the right word to describe customary here in the context is usual, right? Dhoni is known to be calm always. For the other meanings that you guys gave, let's look at a couple of sentences. Look at this. It is customary to hold the door open for someone who is entering a building behind you. Here, what can be the meaning of customary in this context, in this example sentence? Based on custom or tradition, right? Here, it makes sense to bring in tradition or custom. It is customary to hold the door open. It's the right thing to do. In certain customs, you would see people doing that. It's a nice thing. If a guy does this, right? Usually we'll say, he's such a gentleman, right? Okay, so as always, we know that in English, one word has different meanings based on the context, right? So in the first context where it's describing Dhoni, it's usual. In the second example sentence that we saw, it means as per custom, as per tradition, right? Okay, let's move on. Let's look at our next context. So we looked at two words so far, flamboyance and customary. Courtesy Pandya's blistering career, best 66 ball 83 and Dhoni's 79 of 88 balls, India posted a competitive 281 for 7 despite losing the top half for less than 100 after opting to bat. Okay, so what's the context basically saying? The word that is highlighted is blistering. That's the word that we're looking at for the meaning, right? So, despite is a contrast clue word coming. So, despite losing the top half for less than 100 after opting to bat, so India chose to bat first, and they lost a lot of wickets, right? So, in this context, Sid says very fast career, okay? Srivastava says impressive, okay? Mayank says done very fast or with great energy. All right. So obviously, when they are making reference to Dhoni and Pandya here, right? Pandya's blistering career, the right word in the context is actually helping you, right? The context is saying, boss, we lost a lot of wickets, but Pandya and Dhoni came into the picture, right? And they're referring to his career in total. Yes, so a lot of you are giving me a lot of good synonyms describing blistering, and I'm going to take the most effective one, which is impressive. And why is it impressive? Because they were able to achieve something in breakneck speed, which will cover all the other things that you all have said, right? Very rapid, fast, high energy, all of that. But, like we all know, blistering can have different meanings in different contexts. So I want to spend some time quickly at other sentences that you are going to come back and tell me what is the meaning of blistering in that context. Here we go. I walked through the blistering sun. His gaze was blistering. Her arms were blistering with the sunburn. I want you to give me the meaning of all these three. It's the same word, but in a different context, and it brings in different meaning in these contexts. So can you tell me what's the meaning for the first sentence, the second sentence, and the third sentence? The same word, blistering. Let's go. Vaishali, are you giving me the meanings for these sentences where blistering is, or are you answering still Hardik's blistering career? Yeah, Mayank, that's a good example sentence. So, but give me the meaning of blistering in all of this. Sobin says shining, Shrishti says bright, Siddhartha says hot and sunny, Hush says shining. Yeah, so I would say, I would go with Prashant and Paplu, not heavy, but harsh sun. That would be the exact meaning. Sid, right? Here in this context, we're talking about the heat was intense, it was harsh, it was probably hitting this person on, their face or body. I walked through the blistering sun. Here the sun, the heat from the sun was very intense, it was very harsh, it was very hot. What about the second one? Paplu says the second one is eye-catching. His gaze was blistering. Nasima says extreme. Diksha says harsh. I'm going to go with Diksha's answer. His gaze was blistering, meaning it was very severe. It was very harsh. Have you heard people say, this guy is giving me a death stare, like as though he's going to kill me. He's looking at me. Gaze means he's looking at that person, right? So that person really wants to harm you or hurt you because you either pissed them off or you said something that they did not like. Okay? So severe or harsh look, as though they want to kill you. Her arms were blistering with the sunburn. What about in the third context? What do you think the meaning of blistering is here in the context? Third one. Her arms were blistering with the sunburn. So imagine this person probably did not put any sunscreen lotion and they went out in the hot sun. And what do you think happened to the skin? Mayank says very critical. Anybody else for the third one? Priya, I'll take yours. Intense also would go, intense look. That's fine. Yeah, Prakar, swelling. It's almost like this person is getting blisters because of the sunburn, right? What are blisters? Basically the swelling of the skin. Okay, it is either caused by burning or irritation. Right? So if you look at, blisters on the skin, Prashant, that's right. So if you look at this, we have 4 meanings for blistering, right? In our given context, we saw blistering means impressive, breakneck speed, rapid, fast, high energy. Usually, this is used to describe actions in sports. And what does it emphasize? Which brings in the meaning of, great speed or force. Somebody gave an example also earlier. We'll look at that towards the end, but let's move on. So we've completed 3 words. This shouldn't be very difficult. Let's look at it. However, intermittent showers during the break played spoiled sport as Australia were set a revised target of 164 off 21 overs via Duckworth-Lewis method. And there's another example sentence. After 3 hours of intermittent rain, the game was abandoned. We are trying to figure out the meaning of intermittent here in both of these example sentences. What are your thoughts? Marvelous? Do you like the rain, Ekta? Sanjay says forcefully. Okay. Intermittent showers, intermittent rain. If you were there watching the match on Sunday, you know exactly what this means. What do you think the meaning of intermittent is? Damage. I want you to think, I want you to apply logic. In between, yes, Sid. Right? We're talking about something that happens on and off. Very, Ekta, that's the opposite that you're saying, right? It wasn't continuous, it was irregular, Satish, correct. Right? When we say intermittent showers or intermittent rain, we're talking about something that is on and off, irregular, sporadic, yes. Some good synonyms here. Yeah? So, that's what I said. If you were there watching the match, you know exactly what that means. Because Australia's overs were revised, right? Because of that. 21 overs, they did not get the 50. So basically, intermittent means alternately ceasing and then beginning again. So on and off. Correct. Priyanka, that's right. Let's move on. Pandya and Dhoni scripted a brilliant recovery act after India's top half was blown away for only 87 runs. We are going to figure out the meaning of blown away in this context. What does it mean? Pandya and Dhoni scripted a brilliant recovery act after India's top half was blown away for only 87 runs. So, the first part of the sentence is giving us something positive, where without a doubt Hardik Pandya was the man of the match, and then Dhoni, both of them together, it was a brilliant recovery that they did after India's top half was blown away for only 87 runs. So I want you to tell me, in this context, blown away is giving us a positive or a negative meaning? That's my first question. Sai says shoot, Uttam says unexpected, Jagdishwaran says went out. I want you to think. Prashant says shocked, Hari says ended. I'm not getting anybody who is giving me a closer meaning. Sid says seized, Ashok says, okay, negative, thank you Sid. So it's giving us a negative meaning, right? If it's giving me a negative meaning, I want you to think of the context. India's top half was blown away for only 87 runs. They got out in 87 runs. Yes, that's correct. Mayank, Sanjay, Koti, correct, right? They were defeated. In fact, they were soundly defeated. It was a sound defeat. So in this context, blown away means a sound defeat. It's almost like, I defeated you very easily, boss, and by a wide margin, right? Let's put that down. To defeat someone easily and by a wide margin. In the context, blown away means that. Now, if you look at blown away, a lot of you gave me other options, right? Some of you said shoot, some of you said collapse. Let's look at if, because we all know again, right? Now, blow is the verb and away is the adverb, right? What is this? Verb plus adverb? Phrasal verbs. You should know that. Any verb plus adverb or verb plus preposition collocation is phrasal verbs, right? Now, we're going to take a look at some other contexts where you need to come back and tell me, just like how we saw for, what was that word we saw? For blistering, we saw other contexts, right? We're going to look at blown away in other contexts. You come back and tell me what's the meaning of blown away in all those contexts. Yeah? Can we do that? Okay. We were blown away with the technology. That's one. I'd like to get hold of a gun and blow them all away. Has anybody watched Priyanka's Quantico show? I used to watch in the beginning and then I just stopped watching. So in the first context, we were blown away with the technology. What is the meaning of blown away here? Phrasal verbs again have different meanings in different contexts, right? What is the meaning of blow away here? To bite the dust. Think. We were blown away with the technology. Amazed. Okay, yes, I'll take that. Mind blasting. Okay, so basically here means you basically impressed, right? You are impressed very strongly. And I would say even favorably, right? You like what you see. You are highly impressed. Okay? The next one is not addicted, Priyanka. I'd like to get a hold of a gun and blow them all away means I just want to shoot them, to kill somebody, right? To kill by shooting someone. Blow them. Let's just blow them up. Yeah. That's a literal meaning, Harsh, right? You know, the houses got blown away because of the tornado, right? That's another meaning. So we have a lot of meanings. Phrasal verbs have different meanings in different contexts. So far you're able to figure out, Priyanka is good at shooting. Sid, when did you see her shooting? You need to, describe to us when you saw that happening. Anyway, she's an actress. She's doing a really good job of it. So I think that's why you feel that she's good at shooting. So either ways, what we've done here is we've looked at how it's easy to figure out the meaning of difficult or new and unfamiliar words in a context. Now, as we move forward, we are also going to look at how one word can have different forms. In the context, right, flamboyance is a noun form. But then again, we saw flamboyant, which is an adjective form. So I need to know which form to use in a context as well. We're going to spend some time on that in our consecutive sessions. But as always, it's always good to do a little test, right, to test our understanding of what we just learned. So let's quickly do that. One little 1 minute test for you, right, with the words that we just saw. So let's take a quick look at it. 5 sentences, all of the words that we saw, and you come and tell me where you will fit what, and if the form changes a little bit based on the context. Yeah, let's do that. So the words are flamboyance, intermittent, blistering, customary, blown away, and these are your 5 sentences. Let's take a quick look and do this. Salman Khan, you got Salman's spelling incorrect. Salman Khan is a flamboyant actor. Is it right, ma'am? Yeah? I mean, grammatically it's correct. I have a feeling India is just going to dash any opponent they face. It is dash to offer a drink or a snack to guests. Hardik will bring dash, spark and energy to any group. The patient was having dash pains in his side. Hardik set a dash pace to take the lead. So let's have the answers quickly. You have just a minute or less than a minute maybe. We're just applying the words that we just learned right now. Your time has already started though. Yeah, but Paritosh, will you use blown away as it is or will you make any changes to that? I want you to, Ekta as well. Will you use it as it is or will you make slight modifications to the phrasal verb? What Sai, all those who are saying that. Okay, I have, everybody saying blown away is one, but I want you to look at the form as well. Okay, most of you are saying this is 2, okay. What about the third one? Paritosh, you were saying 2, 4 intermittent. Are you saying 2 and 4 both are intermittent? Okay, Hari says 3 is blistering. Okay, a lot of you others are coming back and saying it's flamboyance. Only Hari says blistering. Anybody else? 3 is flamboyance. I'm going to go with the majority. Fourth one. So Deepika, I'm going to take Deepika's answers, okay? Deepika is agreeing with everybody what you're saying, and then Deepika says 4th is blistering and 5th is intermittent. Okay, now let's see if these are correct or not. Yes, that's right, Mayur. Let's see if this is correct or not, okay? Let's quickly look at it. I have a feeling India is just going to dash any opponent they face. So we just saw blown away, different meanings we saw, but in the context, I need to remove the N. I don't need the past participle form. It's going to blow away, right? I have a feeling India is just going to blow away, meaning it's going to defeat any opponent. So this is correct. All of you, I think, got that right. Second one, it is dash to offer a drink or a snack to guests. It is very usual, right? It's almost like custom or tradition, and the best word to describe that would be customary. So that's also correct. Third one, Hardik will bring dash, spark and energy to any group. If you look at your context, gives you clues, right? Spark and energy are noun forms again, right? I need something. All these are talking about what Hardik will bring to any group. If he is part of a group, this is what you will see. So flamboyance is the right word here, right? He will bring style, glitz, grandiose, spark and energy to any group. Okay, now the fourth one, I'm going with Deepa. Let's quickly see if it is correct or not. The patient was having, Deepa says, blistering pains in his side. And then she says, Hardik set a intermittent pace to take the lead. Now, Deepa, a quick note for you. You have this indefinite article a, right? Usually, an I starts with a vowel. I need an intermittent if I have to use intermittent. That's the first thing for you to remember. So, and then let's look at the context. The patient was having, and we just saw intermittent means irregular, on and off. So this guy is having pains. I need a word describing the pains. So don't you think it is more effective to use intermittent here, right? He's having on and off pains rather than blistering. What are all the meanings we saw for blistering? We said harsh, intense, severe, causing blisters, and then in our context we saw it is referring to fast pace, right? Pace is your clue word. Something breakneck speed, pace, fast pace, full of energy. So the right word here would be blistering. So you only got the last two incorrect, but the rest of you, if you got this right, the patient was having intermittent pains in his side and Hardik set a blistering pace to take the lead, you are good to go. Okay? So that brings us to the end of this session. So we're going to be having a lot of fun in these sessions. We're going to look at what's trending, what's happening out there, and I'm also going to focus on specific questions and context from our exam papers itself, right? Because I know vocabulary is vast, but at the same time, if we identify or know what to look for in a context, right? Whether it's a small hint word or a clue word, or look at the context meaning, close passage, fill in the blanks, even reading comprehension, or even following a difficult question becomes easy. You know, it's no longer a challenge for us. So I think we're gonna keep doing this, you know, and we're gonna have fun at the same time. And I think it's important that you spread the word and make sure a lot of you and your friends attend these sessions, because I think learning together is more fun, if you ask me, right? We learn from each other. So thank you so much for actively participating, and don't forget, every day at 11 we are here bringing you different interesting concepts. And more than anything, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you will know what's happening and when is it happening, right? Some of you came back and said, hey, I didn't know the session was happening today. It's happening at 11 every day, Monday to Friday, right? And we're going to be covering not just general awareness, we're going to be covering speed math, which I know all of you are eagerly waiting for, because that's the one thing, you know, that will help you with respect to quantitative aptitude and just making your mind sharper and more focused, right? So thank you guys once again. No problem, Ekta. And it's nice to see some familiar faces. Yeah, so have a good rest of the day. I will catch you guys in the next session, but tomorrow we have a session again at 11 o'clock. Do join us and subscribe to our channel. You can also check out our Facebook page. Yeah, flamboyant is a positive word, right? It depends, Stallion. It depends how you want to see it, right? Not a lot of people like all the glitz and glamour. They like to be just quiet and, you know, plain and reserved. So it depends how your attitude is. But flamboyant means somebody who wants to be out there. Hey, check me out. I don't care. This is who I am, right? I'm full of color. But around flamboyant people, you feel energetic. I mean, we saw some of Hardik's pictures, right? He was gung-ho. So, yeah. All right. How can we improve vocab? This is the way. We just got started. We're going to have a lot of sessions on vocab, Mayur. So if you are there, making sure you're available in all the sessions, I'm sure you will find out ways that you can use to practice. So it'll help you retain the meaning of vocabulary. I mean, new and unfamiliar words. What's the topic tomorrow? Come tomorrow and find out. Hurry. Take care, guys. Bye.